So Chico Ejiro was a friend of mine. He was a colleague and he was a mentor and advisor, even in my private affairs, my family life. He was that kind of guy. He couldn't just be formal with you. You always had to go beyond the professional to the personal because he was an all-embracing kind of individual. He was very kind-hearted. And in everything he did, he always, I think he was my greatest fan. Maybe there could be one or two like him or more enthusiastic, but that would be hard because he was one individual who appreciated me not only as an actor, but as a scriptwriter, as a musician, as a model, as a journalist, as a writer, and basically in everything I did. I do remember when he was working with the DSTV, the South African carrier, TV carrier, and they had commissioned him to do this movie, 66 episodes, called, you can call it a soap opera, called Nollywood Scandals. And he thought among all the writers that he was working with that he knew, he thought that Ejike was the best and the best person for the job. And so he gave me that assignment to write Nollywood Scandals. And a number of his close associates who didn't believe in me the same way he did became very critical. And they said, Bob just coming in from Dubai. He's been living abroad for so long. He does not understand the sensibilities of the Nigerian people, the African. He's been living too long with white folks and he's likely to whiten this movie. And Chico said, it's all right, I'll work with him. I'll be there with him from beginning to the end. And if he whitens it, I will darken it. I'll blacken it. And so we started working together. We spent long hours together. And I said, Chico, what do you do? What do I do about this? There is a man about to cross the river. He's running and he's being chased. For example, what do I do? How do I create some suspense? It's very simple, he would say. Just put some crocodiles in the water. It's easy. We are like creators. I am the god of Nollywood. And Chico was also a god in Nollywood. So we could create anything we wanted. And so Nollywood Scandals came out, 66 episodes. It turned out to be one of the best soap operas in African history. And I wrote it because Chico Ejiro had confidence in me. That's why I wrote Nollywood Scandals, which went global on DSTV and it was everywhere in the world. When he started the Christmas with the Stars, which was a show on the 26th, I think, 26th of December every year in Oriental Hotel, which is one of the biggest hotels in Africa. And the first artist that came to his mind was Bob Ejike. And that's me. He called me and said, Bob, I want you on this show. I want you to come and sing, And I had this slot every year to sing in this performance and then have a chance to interact with some of the greatest artists in Africa. All the big names in Nollywood will be there. And on one occasion, I sang with an unforgettable young lady, Ejike. She was so flexible, you thought she would break on stage. And all these are the kind of things that you could get from being close to someone like Chico Ejiro. He'd shout out at everybody that I was the most talented human being he had ever met. And when he had a movie, initially when, like in this film that we'd been showing, Scores to Settle always by Chico. I was playing in that period of my career mostly the Reverend Father or the pastor, the exorcist, etc. And I was tired of that. Not that I didn't appreciate the religious impact, but then I also wanted to make some money, and the pastoral roles were very brief, 2, 3, or 4 scenes, and that was all. I wanted to do the macho. I wanted someone to give me a machine gun, but they said I looked too handsome to carry a machine gun. They needed tough guys like Ramsey Noah, Ejike, Emeke Nyocha, all the other macho men in Ejike. No one would take me seriously. I said, okay, at least give me a father. I'm getting older. I was too young to be a father, too old to be a lover, too soft to be a policeman doing the James Bond 007. So it was a dilemma for me as an actor. So what role was I going to be playing? Eventually, Chico decided that I wasn't too young to be a father after all, and he made me a father to Regina Askia in what was the name? Maximum Risk, and it was a great success. And I played the father in a way that now made me the new father in Nollywood. And from that time on, everybody was calling me to play the father role. If they found Peter Doche to be busy or too expensive, they'd say, okay, for the lower budget, Bob Ejike is there to do it. And there I was. I was getting to that point in my career where I was everywhere. And I give the credit not to myself or my abilities, but to the two shoulders on which I was standing. I had one leg on the shoulder of Chico Ejiro, the other leg on the shoulder of Ejiro, and I balanced. I was standing on top of Nollywood. And because in every movie these two brothers were making, even if I just flew into the country, they appreciated the work I was doing for Nollywood abroad. They would say to me, oh, we've just casted, we finished casting, this is the cast list, take any role you want, just cancel the name that is there and put your name. That's how close we were. And so, yeah, I can say a lot. I spent 2 years of the period being with Chico every single day, because I had come in from Dubai and I had been appointed the managing editor of the National Edifice magazine, and I was working, hunting for news, doing my employment and everything, and basically trying to put this magazine in every bus stop in Lagos and the rest of Nigeria was not a simple task. So sometimes I needed to relax, and I would just come over to Chico Ejiro's office, which had a bar behind it with you could have your nkwobi, ngwongwo, point and kill fish and whatever. You can have any kind of drink, and we would spend time together and discuss a whole lot of things. And he knew Nollywood inside out. He knew everybody in Nollywood. He was intimately involved with everybody. What I mean is, he was close to everyone, because he didn't just dismiss people once they went off the set. He still retained friendships. That is why his death came as a blow, not only professionally to the industry, because we lost the most talented director that Nollywood ever had. And then not only that, we also lost a friend, a counselor, an advisor, somebody who was always there for everyone and, advising us on every aspect of life. So I sadly, he died while working on my movie because I tried to coordinate this movie from London. He was in Nigeria, so we were constantly um, in communication, trying to get things arranged. So I decided we should do all the casting, arrange the welfare, the locations, cameras, everything. I had my cameras, but of course, you always needed backup, lighting and everything. I had mine, but it was always better to have backups, and then sound and everything. Everything was arranged. I was going to come in and we were going to shoot within 2 weeks. He was the only person in the industry whom I trusted to do that. And besides, he had done too much good for me that I simply could not work with another producer. Even when he told me, I mean, director, even when he told me that he was sick and that he had been to hospital and that, well, he sent me his medical records. I looked through them and I knew it was serious. I told him to go to Luth. I didn't trust all these fancy clinics that people call hospitals in Nigeria because sometimes you don't even know who's treating who in this thing. Your cardiologist could be a dentist. You never know. There's no way you can know who is there. And I didn't like those. I told him to go to Luth. Luth is not fanciful, but you will be sure that you are dealing with a professional. If they say it's a cardiologist, it's a cardiologist. To check yourself out. And a number of people came and told me, oh, Bob, Chico is no longer what he used to be. He's now old. I'm old too. And he's there are new boys on the block. Oh, fancy guys, they make this and that. I said, I don't work that way. I'm not like the Nigerian who dismisses somebody once he acquires experience. Once a practitioner gets experience in Nigeria, they say he's old. Get him out of the way. That's why nothing works. You should be wondering, a country with all this number of universities, why nothing works. Once a person gets to maturity, they get him out. So before he's able to actually perform, he's out of the way. So Chico was at his peak and they said he was too old. I wouldn't hear any of that. I said, thank you, but I'm keeping my Chico. And so I was working with Chico, then he became sick. And of course, I was preoccupied. My friends told me to get rid of him now because, well, he's sick. So how is he going to do this production? I asked Chico, how are you? He said, I'm fine. I think I can do it. I said, okay, let's get ready. But when I came to Nigeria, I was also too tired myself. Because I had a lot of things on my hands, I was running a musical production as well. And I told myself, look, I don't want to do this film in this kind of a hurry. I don't want to do it in a hurry. Chico, let's do this. Let's postpone to early next year. Please. And he said, it was all right. Let's postpone to early next year, which should be around now. And then please return to the hospital, take care of yourself and everything. And what happened next? I returned to London to get back to work, and I saw that Chico was shooting a film. I was surprised. And he appeared to have been shooting it himself, directing himself, because I saw him, the pictures and videos that I saw, he was with the camera. I was really preoccupied. About 3 days later, Amina Anyebunam, whom we had penciled down for a role in The Mistress, called and said, Bob, have you heard the news? I said, what news? She said, Chico Ejiro is dead. I said, oh no, you got the wrong guy. It's not my Chico. My Chico is not dead. can't be true. It can't be true. Then I started seeing a lot of publications. I said, oh, Jesus Christ, what happened? The Chico Ejiro will live forever. Because if you're bad, you die when you die. But if you're good, you live forever. He made over a million, 100 movies, and millions of people were made happy and sane by his works. I think he has made a great contribution. The Nollywood industry is going to miss him for a very, very, very long time, because there's no one quite as creative and fast up here like Chico. And bless his soul, his works will live forever. I give my love to his wife Joy and their children, and to my friend Zeb and Peter Red and the entire Ejiro family. Chico will always be in my heart, always. Thank you.